Right, guys, so I watched an interesting video called Most People Die Before They're 25. Now, a few people made videos like this. There's one guy called Prince, is it Ia or E? I don't know, it's spelled EA. But anyway, I think this was there was a guy called Benjamin Franklin who actually came up with this quote. So, yeah, most people, I think what he means by this is, people they just give up on life more or less. They get a job, they settle into a rut, they live a repetitive routine. They don't challenge themselves, they don't try new things. I started with my father. My father was quite obviously a beta male. Now he was quite old to be fair, but so what would he do? He'd go to work, come home, watch television, he'd go out and play golf every now and then. So, he probably wasn't the worst, but still I feel like he was afraid to try new things, and that's one thing that kind of bothered me. Okay, a lot of people are like this. Okay, I can't be afraid of trying new things. Um, some people, expect to be really good at something really early on, and if they're not good at it early on, they give up. That's kind of what happened to me when I first started out on YouTube. At 20 years of age, that was in 2017. I made my Lawyer Runner channel. I was very consistent for a while, but I wasn't getting the results I was looking for, so I kind of gave up. And I was very inconsistent. There'd be times where I'd kind of get back into it for a little while and then give up again. But 3 years passed, and I realized, right, in those 3 years, I've made very little progress. I've probably made a little bit of progress, but not much. So I'm like, right, if I really want to make something myself, if I really want to become good at YouTube, I'm going to have to just keep practicing every single day. And also I learned that the fact that I had a low IQ was one of the reasons why I was unsuccessful as a YouTuber. And to be fair, that did make things a little bit easier. So if, my lack of success on YouTube either bothered me or got me down, I could just spend maybe a week reading and take a break from YouTube while still growing, if you know what I mean. So that realization definitely made things a little bit easier, okay? That's the thing, you have to, I think the school system wants us to be like this. It's the system that wants us to be like this, very few people are actually challenged by their job, I heard, and that's actually amazing to me because, I used to work at McDonald's. Well, sorry, I still work at McDonald's, but when I first started working at McDonald's in April 2019, I found it a very difficult job. It was very mentally head-wrecking, and it was tough. It was hard, and I had to be wrecked after every shift. And I just assumed that the workplace is hard and everybody finds their jobs hard mentally. Then I start asking people and hearing people's opinions, and they say, "Oh, this job's easy. I'm bored and falling asleep." And I'm like, "Why are you working here if you're bored or falling asleep? Surely you should be doing something more challenging." But that's the system we have in place. It's designed to be like that. It's designed not to challenge people. It's designed for people to be in their comfort zones. Like they say, when you start off in the workforce, you have to start off at the bottom. At the bottom. So, very intelligent guys are starting off at the bottom, getting jobs at McDonald's or KFC. And gee, like they're not challenged. And to be fair, they get promoted quite quickly, but it takes these people years to work their way up into a position where they're actually being challenged by their work. Do you know what I mean? So that's not good, okay? But that's unfortunately that's the way the system is. And the system keeps us in our comfort zone, and that's just the way it is. We live in a society where we've too much comfort and wealth these days. Like if it rains, people stay indoors. Like, oh, I can't go out in the rain. Oh, I might get wet. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you get all these old guys who sit around all day. They won't go outside when it's raining. They won't try new things. They're stuck in a dull, repetitive job. But they'd be like, "Do you know what? When I was a kid, when I was your age, I was out having adventures, out having fun and doing exciting things and trying new things, and every day was terrific." Yeah, well, that was years ago. Are you doing that today? No. Surely that's what counts, what you're doing today. And we have this idea that, when you get old, you give up doing things and you just sit on the armchair all day. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm 24. How many people my age would pick up a new sport or a new hobby? Not many. Like, I noticed that at 24, most of the people my age who've been doing, say, a sport or activity, they've been doing it for years. Alright, they're comfortable with it, okay? They don't have the guts to try something new. That's just the way it is. Um, yeah, and people's and Prince Ea or E or whatever his name is said that people aren't willing to take that risk in life, and that is such a good thing to say, because sometimes in life you do have to take that risk. There's always a chance of failure. Um, I've spoken to some very intelligent people who won't set up a YouTube channel because, oh, they don't want to put their face out in on the internet because they'll get too much publicity, and there's too many risks involved. They gotta just do that anyway, okay? I mean, you know, here I am uploading videos every day, and I'm getting hardly any views or subscribers, but I'm still trying because I know that if I keep trying, I can improve. So yeah, it just annoys me how when we're children we want to try new things and have an adventure, and as we get older, it's just most people just die. I says most people die at 25. I think a lot of people die before that. A lot of people die at 12. Do you know what I mean? So, and it just really bothers me how, you see people, they're adventurous, fun, they try new things when they're young. When they get older, oh, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I think society is kind of designed that way. They don't want you challenging yourself. They don't want you trying new things because the system's designed that way. And I think they say like the upper classes, the wealthy people in society, they want to, they set up this school system in the 19th century to train people how to be workers, and they want people to work jobs and serve the rich, and they want people who are born upper class to stay upper class, people who are born middle class to stay middle class, people who are born working class to stay working class, and staying working class means working dull repetitive job that you don't like for years on end, and yeah, it's just not a good way to spend your life. I lived in Shankill for 3 months, and one of the guys I was living with, he was 47. He was a traffic warden. So yeah, really, if he sees a car that hasn't paid for their parking ticket, he gives them a ticket or something. And he said he turned to drugs himself because he found everyday life very boring, because he wasn't willing to take that risk to try to do something better with his life. Instead, he just turned to drugs to um, get rid of the boredom. Okay, and that's a terrible way to live. If you know what I mean. Why is that? Is he too afraid to get a better job? I believe that you need to challenge yourself in life. It's very important to do that. You know, and fair enough. If you have a mental defect and you're working a job like traffic warden or McDonald's, that's absolutely fine, provided you're being like challenged. But I think if you're on that state, you should try to improve yourself. Try to read books. Here's my book on Elon Musk. Um, if you know what I mean. And yeah, even if you're working a dull, repetitive job, and at the moment you feel like you can't do anything better, well, in your spare time, try to take time out to improve yourself. But that's reading, exercising, all these little things. Okay. Kind of ran out of things to say. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it there.